Hi everyone, it's Vicky here and today I'll be making another art journal layout for Limor Webber Designs. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to cut out the edges of the two pages that I'm going to be working on. I'm using my ruler to fold the edges, and for this layout I'll cut out about an inch from each side. And as I'm doing that, just to let you know that you can find all the supplies that I'm using in this video on my blog as well as below the video. But since this is a guest post for Limor Webber Designs, then you can find the full list of supplies in Limor Webber Designs blog as well. Today I'll be featuring the paper collection by Prima called Cartographer, and I'm also be using inks to add some color on my layout. This is the paper pad by Prima, which is called Cartographer. I'm using the A4 size, but you can find it in both 6x6 and 12x12. Now I'll be using the black map for my background to frame the layout, and also I'll be using this pattern paper for my main background. And once I've chosen the pattern papers that I'll be using, I'll just cut them out and stick them on both my background and the foreground for my layout. Now today's art journal is quite simple, since for making the background I just use pattern paper. This adds a little bit of bulk on my journal, but I really don't mind since those pattern papers are just gorgeous. As usual, I'm using my Faber-Castell gel medium as a glue, and I'll stick everything down. I have also used gel medium to cover up the pages, just because I want to make sure that I have a nice and non-porous surface, since I'll be using lots of mediums on top. And once everything is nice and dry, I'm using my scissors to go around the edges and cut out the excess paper. And finally I can use my Prima tool. As you can see, I'm going all around the edges, the inside edges, and I'm using the tool to distress them. I'll be using this stamp and my Faber-Castell Pit Brush marker to add some interest on the background. Now the background is already gorgeous since I've used that distressed Prima paper, but I think it needs just a bit more. And now it's time to use my eyes ink. So you can see this is the color of avocado, which is a really gorgeous color and it has a metallic shimmer on it. So I'm using my brush, and notice that now my brush is totally dry. So as you can see, you can apply it with a brush, you can blend it with your fingers, and you can also apply it with a dabber. Now just notice that you can't move the ink around as it's quite thick. However, you can dip your brush, if you wish so, on water, and this will make it even easier to apply. But remember that it's going to have a watercolored look, and it won't be as thick. This ink is permanent. It will dry on your page and it will not move no matter what you do you do on top of it. So what I love about these inks is that they have a gorgeous range of colors, they have a metallic shimmer, and they also have a nice cap with a dropper, and I really love that since I can control the amount of ink that I'm going to be using. Now I have also introduced a second color. This is Topaz, and it also has a metallic shimmer on it. And just to demonstrate how it will look with water, now I have already dipped my brush on water, and you can see how easy it is to apply now. You can move it with your fingers, and however it's not as deep as and rich as the avocado color that I've used previously, since now I have a wet brush. So it all depends on the look you want to have and how you want to use your medium. This is a whipped spackle by Faber-Castell, and this I'm going to be using it as a modeling paste. Now what's great about whipped spackle is that you can use any type of ink and color it in any color you want to. So I just used a drop of Liquitex ink there, and now I have a nice black whipped spackle, which I can go over a stencil and just add a bit of interest on the background. So I have used the stencil here and there, as you can see, and I just love how striking the black color on these letters is against my background, and I think it really grabs the eye. So now that my background is finished, you can see the shimmer there. I just love that shimmer, and I'm using one of my stamps. This is a stamp that has a lot of suitcases, one on top of the other. And I'm just going to stamp them on top of one of the lighter pattern papers from the cartographer collection. Now I'm keeping this video real, and you'll see all my mistakes today. So first of all, I'm going to color these luggages by using my pit brush markers, and that's why I'm using gel medium now, and which I'm going to dry, and then I'll go over all these luggages with these colors that you can see there. However, I found out that at the end those stack of luggages were too bright for my layout, and you'll see that although I'm going to stick it down and even do the shading all around, I'll go ahead later on and cover it up. And you can see that when you are working on an art journal, there is no need to panic if you don't like something. There is always a way to correct your mistakes, and you see what I mean later on. For now, I'll leave those stack of suitcases as they are, and I'll go on adding embellishments. So this is a nice clip. It's not that bulky as it looks, because it's only one part of the clip, and it will stay nicely inside my journal. Both the clip and the blade are from the Junkyard Findings collection by Prima, and the one set is called Office Metals and the other set is called Jeans Plates. But again, you can find all the links to all the supplies just below the video and on both my blog and Limor Webber Designs blog. So now I'm using one of the pattern papers from the Cartographer collection, and I'm just going to cut out pieces from this pattern paper. So it has nice photos from monuments, which I'm going to separate and then stack them one on top of the other. I'm distressing just a bit the edges, and then I'll glue one on top of the other. And this is the exact moment when I realized that those suitcases are very bright. The moment that I introduced all these little photographs. As you can see, they are more paler and faded out than how vibrant those stack of suitcases is, and this is the moment where I decided that I have to do something about it. So I'm still working on those little paper pieces. I'm going to stack them on top of the other, and notice how I'm going to glue them on only on the top part, and this will allow everyone who browses my art journal to just browse through all these photos as if they are just holding up there only by the paper clip. to stick down the stack of photos on my layout, as well as to stick down the paperclip. I've used gel medium, and it really holds the paperclip down perfectly. And now you can see for yourself how vibrant this stack of suitcases is. So let's go ahead and see how I fixed my mistake. I've stamped the stamp again. Once more I'm cutting it out, and then I've used my ink inks with a brush, and a wet brush actually, and colored them up. So you can see here I've used a number of colors such as topaz and avocado, which are actually the colors that I've used on the background, and that's how I'm sure that they will match my whole project. And I've also introduced a brownish color which is called amber. So that's the stack of suitcases now, which I'm just going to stick on top of the other one and cover everything up. I'm also using one of my chalk pens by Faber-Castell. This is a brown one, and I'm adding the details here and there. I've used gel medium to stick one on top of the other, and no one will ever know, okay, except you and me. So now let's move on. I have this bag of ephemera by Tim Holtz, and I'm just going to cut things up and choose which one I want to place where, and I'll stick everything down with gel medium again. The idea here is to use whatever you have and create some interesting clusters in 2 or 3 places around your layout. The ephemera pack that I'm using today is called Expedition, and it's by Tim Holtz, and it's also available, as well as everything else that I'm using today on my video, at Limor Webber Designs shop. This is a sticker booklet, and I'm looking for some words that match my theme, and so I finally decided to go with Travel the World. And the finishing touch for my layout today will be to stamp the date. And now all that's left to do is to stick those flaps on top of the black map. And my layout is finished. I hope you had fun and got inspired, and if you did, don't forget to leave me a comment as well as give me thumbs up on my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching.